Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the hidden force that gets Pakistani products onto shelves all around the world. We're talking about the engine that drives a whole nation's trade, and we're going to break it all down for you. Seriously, think about it for a second. It almost feels like magic, right? You pick up some beautiful marble, maybe a hand-woven rug, or some amazing local craft, and you just have to wonder, how on earth did this get from a small workshop in Pakistan all the way over here? Well, as you're about to see, it's not magic, it's a massive coordinated strategy. And here it is. The main architect behind that whole journey is this organization, the Trade Development Authority of Pakistan, or TDAP for short. The best way to think of them is as the master connector. They're the key government body whose entire mission is to build the bridges that carry Pakistani products out into the world. They are the answer to that question. Okay, so let's dive into this. To really get what TDAP is all about today, you've got to go back to where it all started. Its story is actually a really cool one, about evolution, about a shift from a pretty narrow mission to a much, much bigger vision. So the story kicks off way back in 1963 with something called the Export Promotion Bureau. And, well, the name says it all. Its job was really simple: promote the stuff Pakistan was already making. But by 2006, the world was a totally different place. Globalization was in full swing. Just promoting things wasn't going to cut it anymore. A whole new way of thinking was needed, and that led to its complete transformation into the TDAP.
And this is the key takeaway, for sure. This was way more than just a name change. It was a huge shift in strategy. The old bureau, on the left there, had a one-way focus: just promote. TDAP, on the right, was built for something much bigger: trade development. That means everything: actively creating new products, finding new markets, and building the entire system to support real, sustainable growth. So how does TDAP actually turn this big vision into something real? Let's take a look at how they build connections in the physical world. You know, getting Pakistani businesses face-to-face with buyers from all over the globe. This slide really shows you where the rubber meets the road. TDAP is on the ground, making these connections happen. They're setting up booths at massive international trade shows, they're running workshops to get exporters up to speed, and they're giving direct marketing help to anyone trying to compete. It's a whole support system designed to get products out the door and into the world. And here's the proof that it works. This isn't just theory. In 2011, because of these targeted strategies from TDAP, Pakistan's exports of stone, marble, and granite to the enormous Chinese market doubled. That is a huge, measurable impact on a really critical industry. Of course, the world of trade never stands still. The physical marketplace is vital, but the years after 2011 were all about the digital revolution. So, how did TDAP adapt to this new reality? Let's check out their pivot to the digital frontier. So 2017 rolls around, and it's another one of those critical turning points. TDAP recognized that the global marketplace was shifting in a big way. To stay competitive, they had to go where the buyers were, and increasingly, they were online. This realization kicked off a brand new, pretty bold strategy. And that new strategy came in the form of a landmark partnership. TDAP joined forces with the global e-commerce giant, Alibaba. This was an absolute game changer. All of a sudden, this massive digital doorway just swung open for Pakistani exporters, giving them direct access to hundreds of millions of buyers on one of the world's biggest online platforms. Now, it's so important to understand that TDAP doesn't do all this alone. It's actually the central hub in this complex ecosystem of different institutions, all working together to power Pakistan's trade ambitions. And this slide gives you a great snapshot of that powerful network. TDAP works hand in hand with the Ministry of Commerce on policy, the State Bank on the money side, tax authorities, business chambers, you name it. This deep integration is really the secret sauce. It lets them cut through red tape and make the path so much smoother for anyone trying to export their goods. So from physical trade shows to pioneering e-commerce partnerships, TDAP's story is really one of constant adaptation. And it leaves us with a really fascinating final question. In a world where digital borders are already blurring, what's the next frontier? What is the next great leap forward for connecting global trade? What's the next big challenge for organizations like TDAP to conquer?